I sent $6,400 to assist my cousin with her overseas relocation, only to receive a message. "You're not welcome at her send-off dinner. It's more of a close-knit family affair." My mother remarked, "Why are you turning this into a mess?" So I didn't. I halted the travel support and updated my role on the lease agreement. At 10:56 p.m., my aunt left a voice message. I listened twice to confirm I heard it correctly. When she reached out, I didn't waver. My cousin Lila was always full of grand dreams, but she relied on silent help to bring them to life. Her move to Berlin for an art course sounded thrilling, bold even, and I was in a position to support her. So I did. Airfare, visa costs, security deposit, and the first 2 months' rent, all covered. $6,400 total. Not a debt, not a favor with strings attached, just help, because I thought that's what family does. I didn't expect a thank you note. I just wanted to be there when she left to bid her farewell, to feel part of it. The farewell dinner was meant to be small, personal. She'd mentioned it casually during a call about her consulate visit. Nothing extravagant, just immediate family and a few dear friends. I assumed I'd be included. She always called me her closest cousin. I helped polish her CV. I reviewed every scholarship application she drafted. I bought her groceries during her final exams. But at 3:42 p.m., the day before the dinner, I got a text from her mom, my Aunt Clara. "Hey, just letting you know we're keeping the dinner small, more of a family thing. Hope that's okay?" At first, I stared at the screen, thinking I'd misread. Then it sank in. More of a family thing. I wasn't family enough. No phone call, no explanation, just a polite dismissal with a smiley emoji. I didn't respond, didn't ask for clarification. I sat on my sofa, opened my banking app, and paused the international account I'd set up for her living costs. Not out of spite. I did it to guard my own boundaries. For years, I thought silence was kindness, but it had only made me invisible. Then I logged into the rental site and withdrew my name from the lease agreement. She hadn't even moved in yet. At 10:56 p.m., my aunt sent a voice note. I played it twice to be certain. Her tone was steady, almost scripted. "Sweetie, we're just trying to keep things simple. It's not about you. You're making this difficult." That word stuck. Difficult. Like I was intruding on a gathering I didn't belong to. Like I was causing a scene. So I didn't. That night, I lay in bed, staring at Clara's text like it was a riddle. Just letting you know it's more of a family thing. It wasn't the first time. That's what broke me. Not the message, not the dinner, not even the money. It was realizing this had been happening for years. Again and again. Different moments, same pattern. I just hadn't named it before. I recalled Lila's graduation, when I covered the catering and photographer because she deserved something nice. They didn't reserve a seat for me that day either. I stood in the back with the staff, holding a plate I'd paid for. I remembered Christmas, driving 5 hours through a blizzard to deliver gifts for everyone, only to eat alone in the study because the main table was too full. I remembered my aunt's birthday. I'd funded the entire event, including the open bar her friends raved about. Clara raised a glass to those who always step up, and somehow I wasn't included. The receipts weren't the issue. It was what followed. Always the same. I gave, they took. I supported, they forgot. I stayed quiet, and they took it as permission. They valued the help, but never saw the person providing it. Access. A card that worked, a contact that answered. I wasn't family, I was a resource. The pattern hit like a sharp sting. Every time I showed up, they showed me the door. Not with words, with exclusions, with hollow thanks, with phrases like, "We thought you'd be fine with it. You're so good at letting things slide. You're the dependable one." That last one hurt most. Dependable. A word that sounds like praise but feels like a duty. That night, I opened my laptop and searched my inbox for Lila's name, scrolling through the past 6 months. 47 emails, flight bookings, deposits, lease cosign forms, visa checklists, Amazon receipts for power adapters, allergy meds, and overpriced luggage. 47 instances of me stepping up. Not one thank you. I created a spreadsheet, listed every detail, not out of resentment, for clarity. I needed to see how far I'd let this go. By 3 a.m., I had it all. Every dollar, every favor, every silence, all in rows and columns. Stark, confirmed, unacknowledged. Somewhere between lines 31 and 32, it clicked. I'm not her cousin, I'm her sponsor. A shadow with a bank account. And shadows don't get dinner invites. I didn't sleep, didn't eat. But I remembered. Everything. I recalled Lila saying once, "I'd be lost without you." Now I understood. She never planned to manage without me. She assumed she wouldn't have to. At 7:12 a.m., I sat at my desk, coffee in hand, phone in the other, staring at my banking app. The $6,400 was still pending on Lila's side. I hit cancel. No alert was sent to her. It would bounce back in days like a system error. Let her contact the bank. Next, the lease. She'd pleaded for me to co-sign. Her credit wasn't enough for the Berlin apartment alone. I'd agreed. Quietly, thoughtfully, foolishly. Now I was done. I logged into the rental portal, selected Remove Cosigner, and uploaded a notarized statement withdrawing financial responsibility. I attached our last email chain, where she said the lease was temporary until her stipend came through. Let her explain that to the agency. I didn't want her to fail. I just couldn't keep enabling a system that excluded me. Saying no wasn't revenge, it was self-worth. Long overdue. Then came the systems. Lila used my CloudDoc account for all her move-related paperwork, embassy scans, student forms, her new ID. I was the admin. She never asked why the bill didn't hit her card. I logged in, suspended her access, moved all files to a private folder labeled Restricted. Not erased, just locked. Then I opened our shared Dropbox. It held her art portfolio, the one she sent to her scholarship board, the one I organized, edited, formatted, while she boasted she didn't trust digital tools. Revoked her access, changed the password. She'd think it was a glitch at first, maybe even call me to fix it. That made me chuckle. Not a happy laugh. The kind you let out when you realize the magician never had a trick, just debts. Then the software license. Adobe Creative Suite, my business account. She'd used it free for 2 years. I deactivated her access. One click, she'd now handle her tools on her own. Then the travel card, the one I'd set up for emergencies. She used it for taxis, takeout, even a weekend hotel stay in Amsterdam with a friend she never mentioned. I'd seen the charges. I just never spoke up. I called the card issuer, canceled the supplementary user, effective immediately. No balance left, no scene made, just a closed gate. Finally, the email. She had a Gmail alias I'd set up, tied to my Google Workspace. That one stung. I knew it would hit hardest. I revoked it. Instantly, the email linked to her university scholarship and visa was disabled. She'd notice soon. It wasn't personal, it was precision. It was truth. That thought lingered. I'd spent so much time supporting others I forgot to check in with myself. What did I need? What was fair to me? I made a list. Every service she used, every dollar I spent, every system I maintained, methodically cut off. This wasn't emotional. This was reclaiming shared resources. By noon, all she had left was the suitcase I helped choose and the memory of a cousin who used to say yes. I didn't post online, didn't text her back. I knew what was coming. The calls, the chaos, the stories. But I wasn't afraid of the fallout anymore. I was afraid of who I'd become if I didn't act. At 2:24 p.m., Clara texted, "Something's wrong with Lila's university login. Can you fix it?" I didn't respond. At 3:47 p.m., Lila texted, "Hey, my lease says it's been altered. Did you do this?" No reply. At 4:15 p.m., Clara again. "You're being petty. This is immature. She's your cousin." Still nothing. By 6:30 p.m., I had 3 missed calls from Lila, 4 from Clara, and 1 from an unknown number, likely a friend playing mediator. Didn't matter. I'd built the system. They used it without respect. Now I was revoking access I'd granted. One of my favorite business sayings is, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product, and I was done being used. At 9:02 p.m., another voice note from Clara. No emojis this time, no warmth, just sharp practiced anger. "I hope you realize the harm you've caused. Lila is heartbroken. You've left her stranded when she needed you. Family doesn't do this." I listened twice, noted the absence of one word. "Thank you." She never mentioned the money, the support, the records, the sacrifices, just emotions, the ones they wielded when the system stopped working for them. So I saved the voice note and opened a new file. Title: They never said thank you. I knew documenting wouldn't change the past, but it clarified the pattern I'd ignored, the one where love came with conditions, but gratitude was absent. Entry 1, $6,400. Entry 2, my silence. Entry 3, her seat at the dinner. I was uninvited. Now they were too. Not from my life, not from my work, not from the system they mistook for entitlement. By evening, my phone was a war zone. 21 notifications, missed calls, voicemails, texts, escalating. It started softly. Clara in the group chat. "He's ignoring us. This is so unnecessary." Lila sent a crying cat gif, a quiet plea, a tactic. I left them unread. They wanted a reaction. For clarity, I funded my cousin's move, flights, visa, deposit, initial rent. Total, $6,400. I was excluded from her farewell dinner via a text. It's more of a family thing. In response, I paused funds, revoked services, and stepped back. This is for transparency, not conflict. Below, I attached the screenshots with captions. Berlin deposit, $3,200, paid April 15th, 11:22 a.m. Flight, charged to my card, Adobe seat, business billing, Dropbox access revoked, April 17th, 9:03 p.m. CloudDoc admin removal, April 17th, 9:05 p.m. Clara's text. It's more of a family thing, nothing else. I posted, closed the app, grabbed my bag and left the apartment. I didn't wait for responses, didn't seek validation. I just moved. By 11:08 a.m. it was spreading, quiet shares, subtle reactions, comments from strangers. Finally, the truth. I was confused before. This clears it up. Someone messaged, "You weren't invisible, you were erased." This was needed. Messages poured in. Cousins reached out. Colleagues offered support. Acquaintances said they'd always wondered why I was sidelined. One friend messaged privately, "They've been manipulating you for years. Glad you spoke up." At 12:42 p.m., Lila texted, "Why are you doing this? You're making it harder for me." I didn't respond. Her upset wasn't about me. It was about them. Someone else commented, "They turned your kindness into guilt. You changed the narrative." At 2:17 p.m., a mutual friend posted publicly, "Truth speaks louder than tears." The tide was turning. Then came confirmation. At 3 p.m., an email from Lila's scholarship board. Due to issues with third-party sponsorship documents, housing approval is under review. They'd seen the evidence. They were investigating. At 4:28 p.m., Clara called. I let it ring. Went to voicemail. She said, "You've shamed us." You broke her trust. This wasn't right. I listened twice. Her tone was almost calm. No tears, just blame. I deleted it. Opened the group chat. No tears, no pleas, just silence. A quiet that felt deafening. Then a message from my uncle. "You exposed the pattern." That's all I needed. No apology, no explanations, no follow-up post. I didn't comment, didn't clarify, didn't defend. The screenshots and captions spoke for themselves. The financial records carried the weight. The text told the rest. They'd tried to drown me out, with drama, with tears, with legal threats, with emotional traps. Now they were silenced. At 7:10 p.m., my phone buzzed. One text. "We need to talk." From Lila. No context. I left it unread. By 8:54 p.m., the storm faded. No more voicemails, no urgent texts, no group chat outbursts, just a calm evening marked by truth, the moment the platform made silence visible. I didn't wake up proud, didn't wake up angry. I woke up free. Free from being invisible infrastructure, free from the need to justify or explain. I woke up seen. I shared facts for clarity, and the truth's echo will never fade. They didn't reach out for a week. No texts, no voicemails, no late-night rants from Clara. For a moment, it felt like calm, but I knew better. Silence wasn't defeat, it was strategy, and it came. Saturday morning, 9:12 a.m., a message from Lila. "Can we meet before I leave?" Not an apology, not an admission, just a polite request, as if nothing happened, as if my actions were an overreach, not a final stand. I didn't reply immediately. I considered it, not for her, but for myself. I agreed to meet. Neutral ground, public. Her choice, a downtown cafe. I arrived on time. She was there, in a loose sweater, half-packed suitcase by her chair. No expression. She didn't stand when I approached, didn't smile, just said, "This got out of control. I didn't mean for it to escalate." Not an apology, a statement, a reframing, where the issue wasn't their actions, but my response. She continued. Talked about family expectations, how everyone thought you were fine with it, how you were the strong one, how they assumed. Helping made you happy. She said it like it would explain everything, like recognition was enough. In that moment, I saw she wasn't the villain. I wasn't the victim. We were trapped in a story where I played the helper too well and forgot to include myself. I didn't interrupt. I listened, because this wasn't for her. It was for me. When she finished, I said, "I didn't walk away over money. I walked away because you never saw me." She went quiet. I continued. "You saw the support, the payments, the help, but not the person behind it. And when I stopped, you didn't ask why. You called it betrayal." My voice stayed even. I didn't falter. Every word was deliberate, final. Not for effect, for truth. She swallowed, stared at her coffee. "So what now?" she asked. "Are we done?" I nodded. "We were done the moment you wrote. It's more of a family thing, admit it." She didn't cry, didn't beg, just seemed smaller. Not broken, just aware of what was lost. I stood, pushed in my chair. Safe travels. I walked out, didn't look back. It wasn't about winning. It was about drawing a line. The control ended not when I froze the funds, not when I posted for clarity, but here, in this quiet farewell. They no longer had access, not just to systems, but to the support I once gave.